On today's episode of the You Ought to Know Show, we are visiting Goodwill, Arkansas, where your donations not only spread goodwill for Arkansans, but also for the environment. We are here at Goodwill today, Goodwill Arkansas headquarters, actually in Central Arkansas, with President and CEO of Goodwill Arkansas, Brian Marsh, and Sustainability Manager Grant Williams. Thank you for having us and joining the show.
Well, it's great to be here. It's great to be part of this. We appreciate the good work that you're doing and educating Arkansans on not only the businesses that have a part in sustainability and keeping Arkansas beautiful, but also all of the other work and the do-it-yourself and the people who are making an impact on the state. So thank you very much, Colbie.
Thank you. And I actually made sure to wear some of my Goodwill finds. I am a huge Goodwill shopper. So this is one of my finds and my shoes. So
excellent. Thank you.
I love y'all's work.
Well, thank you for shopping Goodwill.
So tell us a little bit, what is the Goodwill model? What are you doing here? I hear such great things.
Goodwill. So donate, shop, change a life. So when people donate to Goodwill and they donate their gently used items, and sometimes they're not so gently used items, what happens is we have an opportunity in the store to process and sell them in the store, but also to provide people an opportunity to repurpose things. We've got a lot of do-it-yourselfers that come in. And then when those donations are sold, they power our organization so we can deliver our mission. And we can talk a little bit about what our mission is through this. But really what it does is it gives us a chance to be part of that solution. We get about 46 million pounds of donations a year.
Oh my.
In the state of Arkansas.
And that's 46 million pounds that's not going into the landfill. That's incredible.
Well, it's 46 million pounds that starts with us, and then we cull through that. So there is a portion that does go to the landfill, but we're working all the time, and hence Grant being part of the team on how do we further reduce that number. Our goal is to be neutral and to figure out a place for everything and an opportunity, and it's partnerships. It's partnerships with not only organizations that are currently vendors or they're partners of ours where we're selling them product at the end of the process, but also ways to divert, the opportunity to go to a power generation facility that uses products that are combustible instead of it going in the landfill. So it's all of those things. It's the opportunity to be involved with some of the national projects on fiber reclamation, on glass, on plastics. So always looking to see what we can do to minimize that number.
That is so incredible. And y'all are all over the state. Over 40 locations, is that correct?
Yes, 44 locations across the state. We are Goodwill of all of Arkansas, so there are 155 Goodwills in North America. We are one of 10 that is a state or a state and some. Ohio, which is not a large state, has 16 Goodwills, meaning they have 16 different mission statements, 16 different strategies. Here in Arkansas, we have the whole state. We have 44 locations in 21 counties, and we're looking at how do we expand and serve all 75 counties.
That is amazing. That is so amazing. I love all that you are doing here, and so I'm just so excited to continue to learn and hear from y'all what all you are doing. And so
let's take a walk. So the stuff you see behind us in the Gaylords, this is product that didn't sell in a store. So it's items that either were not what we felt sellable, or they were put on the floor, didn't sell, and were returned here. So we have two of these facilities, one here in Little Rock, one in Northwest and on North Dixieland and Rogers. And so this product is then brought here so that we can work harder at selling it, but also cull out the products that can be recycled, reused, or can be salvaged. So the process is bring that product back here and take an effort to reduce that, again, that waste footprint. We also bring trash back here, and we're working on different elements on how do we reduce our trash footprint across the state, and that's something that Grant's working on now too.
Yeah, so we're taking all this and we go through it. So for instance, if we look in here, the label's incorrect, but this is mixed rigid plastic. So all of these are one type of plastic by and large, and part of what we've been doing is, like you said, finding new vendors, new contacts, people who can find value in these items. So we figure out how to create a process, and we'll go see that in a moment.
Okay.
But figuring out, like you said, we get it here, we bulk it up, and then we're able to put it into a concentrated amount that a vendor downstream can either recycle, salvage, or put it back into the usage.
So what's the main product that this is going out to for recycling?
I mean, we do
plastics.
We do some plastics. Plastics is the newest, and by weight, it is a significant amount. But there is a lot. So where to start? We have an e-waste cage, so we can take any electronics, break them down, and then we have a partner that is R2 certified that will get us a maximum value while keeping it out of trash pits and faraway places, which is what we do not want to be a part of.
Exactly. What type of companies are typically purchasing these from you? Say they make, we'll just throw out there, refrigerators, or what kind of companies are y'all recycling with?
So, great question. The companies that we're partnering with, and I'm going to talk not only Goodwill of Arkansas, but other Goodwills are in pilot programs. Trex.
Okay.
So when you look at Trex makes the composite boards for decking and some furniture. That is plastic bags. So the bags you get at major retailers or garbage bags, those cannot be recycled right now in our recycling. So if you put them in your recycling, they may not pick your recycling up. But we're looking at those partnerships. Goodwills in Northeast, in Washington, D.C., Delaware, and Maryland have a partnership where they are collecting those bags and routing them to Trex, and they're used to make the composite boards. Trex is building a $400 million facility here in the port in Little Rock. We're looking at that partnership and how to expand and do that here. So that will be one of our future partnerships. When you look at Goodwill of Western Michigan, they have a partnership where they take these plastics and they mold them into a product that is used in groundwater routing and erosion control. So it's how do we partner with them? So it's not only is it Goodwill of Arkansas, but it's using our network to be able to build those partnerships across the country. And with Goodwill, we bring in 46 million pounds in Arkansas. In the US, it's over 5 billion pounds of donations come to Goodwills. So we have the opportunity to be a major player. So there's multiple Goodwill efforts underway. Fiber reclamation, when you look at materials, natural fibers can be reclaimed mechanically, so they'll take cotton or wool and they separate the fibers and then reweave it into material to be made into another product.
See, I never would have thought of that. That's so incredible.
Yeah.
And we actually partner with Trex too, so
there we go.
We're all working together.
Yes, we are.
Like.
And it's circular, and it's truly circular, because as we go through this, the public needs to be more aware. The general public needs to know more about how they can be a part of that. And so often we're not. And, oh, well, they don't take this plastic in my recycling bin, so I'll just put it in the landfill. We've got to get better at that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And hopefully, as part of the You Ought to Know show, we may be able to help with some of that. So
Excellent.
Let's go find some stuff.
Let's go take a walk.
What's happening?
So the products that we saw earlier that were in the bins, they dump them onto these blue tables and roll them out here where they're offered to the public by the pound. So it's one more chance to sell the product before we go through the salvage and recycling process. So this gives everyone a chance to buy things. In here, there are many treasures. It is, we have a number of people that shop this every day. It's the same people every day. And they're basically running their business by buying here and then selling online or selling in flea markets. So we'll have 50 to 150 people in here on any given day.
Wow.
Shopping.
Wow. And you can just take a cart and you just load it up.
Yes.
And you put it on the scale.
And they buy it by the pound.
That
Yes.
is so fun. That is so fun.
Well, there is a lot of, it's treasure hunting.
Uh-huh.
This is truly a treasure hunting experience.
So what would you say has been one of the most interesting finds?
Well, when you go through here, the finds in here, I know that, and I know this because I've seen it online, people who have found Xbox games, they found Xbox systems in here. They've also, you'll find designer jeans that didn't get purchased in the store, came through the process, got dumped in here, and then they're finding a pair of, the only reason I know this is I had a teenage daughter, Miss Me jeans or things like that. So, yes.
Absolutely.
And then we do an e-commerce where things are pulled out and sold online, and there we've had everything from jewelry, prosthetic limbs, Civil War memorabilia, to records and LPs, fur coats, just about everything that happens and can be donated has been donated. Good, bad, and ugly.
I will say I have bought a fur coat for my mamaw. So I know there's some pretty good finds here.
Yes.
So what's the next stop?
We will walk through and go to where we're doing that separative. When it leaves here, what happens to it?
Okay, great.
What we're looking at here is the post salvage. So we've been on the floor, no one found interest in these items, sadly, but we come back here and we have teams of specialized people who are trained to go through here quickly and sort, and they find a book. We have Gaylords labeled just for books. So as we bulk all these items up and we get into thousands of pounds per box, we end up stacking these and shipping out whole truckloads across the world for some items and to retailers where they're going to chip these up and reuse them.
So what box would Rubik's Cube get? Does it have its own box or?
Sadly, it's likely a trash item. It's broken, as well as it might find its way into a toy, but because it's a complex item, it'll probably be in the trash. But when you look through here, we're finding partnerships to find dirty wood at home, metal, different types of mixed rigid plastics. And this has happened since joining almost 100 days ago. So we work every day diligently to find new streams to offset all of our waste. So, and we operate, the thing is we don't buy anything here, right? So we are gifted the items gently used from across Arkansas. And we take that and try and find it a home, keep it out of the landfill. But at worst, we're going to try and get it back to the material so that a manufacturer can use it.
So these products could have multiple different lives.
Yeah, that's our dream.
Yeah, before they got here and after they leave here, yes.
And a lot of our customers will go from the store, buy it, try and sell it, use it, and then they'll bring it back. So we are an avid participant in the reuse economy.
Yes.
We just came off the floor with some household wares and we sort those into larger boxes. But linens and textiles get a special life. They get dumped by this large horizontal baler we purchased, and it gets compressed all the way into these large loads. And each one of these weighs approximately 2,000 pounds.
Wow.
So we'll ship these overseas to vendors to get them to places where they can afford to buy brand new clothing. And we make sure that we are working with reputable people that aren't just going to be releasing it where there's not a need and it'll just become coastal trash.
That is incredible that y'all are even taking Goodwill internationally to make a positive impact. That is incredible.
It's the dream job, honestly, for sustainability.
So as we go through, this is the textile, and this is the output of the textiles, and kind of the end of the process here. Again, in the future, this could be fed into a machine that would separate synthetics and natural fibers, mechanically separate and reclaim the natural fibers, and then chemically reclaim the synthetic fibers so that all that can be used again, which would then give us the ability to complete that cycle closer to home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then as we go around, we'll do e-waste, and we can talk a little bit about some of the metals and what happens with our metal products.
Okay.
So we're looking at outside of our e-waste cage. This comes in from the stores, and people are generous to donate their used Xbox 360s. So we take this in here and we sell them on e-com and whole lots. We'll bundle 3 to 6 of these up and just sell them untested. People buy them, refurbish them, just like we do in our e-waste cage.
Yeah.
But then we'll take this and walk over this batch, and they go through and sort into each individual container. This is all ink cartridges. We've got TV screens, we got cell phones, all these different categories. So we bulk them up, and then they'll process them down the line. So we'll go check that out after this, but we get different amounts for the cords, for the different items, and a lot of them are higher value if we get to keep them in the reuse sector. So we will hopefully take care of them all the way to the selling point, to the vendor, and they will take it and repair it and get it back to someone without ever having to go through the part of breaking it apart or making it a lesser value item. And all this takes work, but there are estimates that the amount of gold and rare earth metals that come out every year are more than like 700 Boeing jets, like 747s, those big ones. And then we don't have to extract that out of the earth.
Yes.
That's all that's above the ground already in items.
That's the big thing is that this means that we're not, again, pulling more rare earth metals, more raw metals, more precious metals out of the ground to make the products, because even if we can't use them, as Grant said, if it can't go back to a refurbisher, if it goes to someone who's breaking it down, it's interjecting those metals that have already been mined, and all that effort and fuel and energy that went into processing originally can short circuit that process so that it is a lower cost environmentally to use the product that is being reused. So that's very important to us.
And less wear and tear on our earth,
yes,
too. So that's incredible.
So this is where that product goes when we bring it over and we're able to do some work with it. So let's hypothetically talk about a laptop or a desktop unit that was donated and has the opportunity to have a future life. We have the technology to scrub the hard drives to a Department of Defense DOD level 3 scrub, so that we're taking everything off of the hard drive, so then it can be repurposed. So then we can sell that again as a usable computer. So we have a computer store here at the GRC where that product may end up there, or we may sell it as a scrubbed unit to a third party who then will sell it to the public. So it keeps us from having to break it down and put energy into it to tear it apart to make another computer, because the computer still has life left.
So I have a refurbished laptop, so I wonder if it came through Goodwill.
It may have.
To a vendor who I then bought it from.
It may have.
Wow.
It may have. So another thing that happens, and you've seen some of the cords that we have,
Yeah.
and some of the items. We have a computer store. We get a lot of cords that are mixed, we'll call it just a mixed bag of cords, charging systems. We used to have Radio Shack, where when you had an item and you didn't have a charger, you could go to Radio Shack. Well, they stopped really being in existence. So you could come to Goodwill, go to the computer store, and see if they had that charger that you need. I have bought a charger for an item that was probably 10 years old that the charger stopped working on. So I came here and bought a charger that works with it. So it's another opportunity that we have to provide an avenue for products not to go to the landfill.
I'm just so impressed with what you are doing. So impressed. So impressed. So what's next?
What's next?
You want to do econ?
Let's do econ. This is where some items that are what we'll call those special finds that are donated, we bring them here or to our facility in Northwest Arkansas, and we list them on online at either shopgoodwill.com, which is what we use now. We also list them on eBay. We list them on Facebook Marketplace. There's also goodwillfinds.com. But this is a way for us to provide an item, an opportunity to go to a bigger market so that we can get as much as we can for the item. Now, what is sold in here? We've got games, we've got Wii games and PlayStation games, we've got albums, cassette tapes, jewelry, fur coats, high-end clothing, guitars,
instruments of all kinds,
prosthetic limbs. What else have we had that has come through that's unique? TVs. It's a little bit of everything that comes through. So this gives us an opportunity to make sure that we have the greatest opportunity to sell it so that it doesn't have to be recycled. I will say that you get models, you get dishes, china, silverware. I know that people who have a pattern that they got with their wedding, and they may not have gotten the full set 37 years ago, and then they go, you know what, I need a gravy bowl. Well, you can go online and find those, and you can buy them from a supplier that might just do that, or you can look on shopgoodwill.com and find some amazing things. So it's a great opportunity, but this is, again, another way that we have to keep things out of the landfill or out of the recycle chain, and put them to use and put them in people's hands so that they can enjoy them also.
Yeah, I see that you have, it looks like photo booth areas too, to make that product really shine when it gets online.
Yeah, so we have people that are listers, and they will take something and look at it, and they will determine what it should be listed as and all the information, and then photography, or be the photographer for it. So they do the photography so that we can get it listed online and then have the best pictures possible.
So what does your revenue go towards? I hear it's a really awesome thing.
Well, we've got a number of things. We have, not only do we recycle and help put things to use that may have in some people's eyes seen they were gently used and came back and they didn't want them anymore. We also help people. We help people move to the next stage. So we have career centers. We have the only adult high school in the state of Arkansas where an adult over the age of 19 can earn a high school diploma, not a GED, but a diploma. We have a trade school. Our trade school offers programs in the 6 highest need in demand business sectors. So IT, medical, construction, manufacturing, logistics and transportation, hospitality, and customer service. So we do training in that. So certified medical assistant. You can get a certification as a pharmacist tech. You can get welding certifications and become a welder. We're starting construction, and so you'll be a carpenter. You can get certifications in electrical, HVAC, or plumbing. We also have IT classes in programming or data analytics. We also have the opportunity to get your forklift license and work in a warehouse. So a lot of different things. And then we have reentry programs where individuals who are coming out of incarceration have a chance to go through our program and learn the skills it takes to be successful. Recidivism in the state of Arkansas is 50%. 50% of the people that get out of prison go back. Recidivism through our TEO program is less than 6%. So it's very impactful. But that's where, when you donate and shop at Goodwill, you can help change a life, because our mission is supported. 96% of our revenue comes from the sale of donated goods. And so our mission is supported by the sale of donated goods and all the work that Grant and our team is doing to ensure that we've got a pathway for product not to go to the landfill.
So really, your donation helps not only Arkansas, the environment of Arkansas, but it helps fellow Arkansans.
Yes, very much so.
Wonderful work here, wonderful work. Anything else, or?
No, again, because of you, good will happen.
Good, good. Well, thank you both so much for joining today's episode of the You Ought to Know Show. Stay tuned. We're going to go visit some more businesses doing great things for Arkansas. Thank you.